What is going on, guys? Football Recaps here, and today I am back with another college football prediction video. And today, this is going to be an interesting matchup because we have Clemson, who is undefeated, who almost lost to Wake Forest yesterday in double overtime, and of course, NC State. They keep on rolling. They beat Texas Tech. They beat UConn yesterday. I mean, it's UConn, but they almost lost to ECU, so that was pretty much a wake-up call for them. But this game will determine who will most likely go to the ACC Championship, unless Florida State decides to screw up in the middle of the season. But they're also 4-0. Like, Florida State is pretty good. Syracuse is a dark horse for the Atlantic. The Atlantic is actually not bad. The Coastal, though, as a UNC fan, UNC's bad. So NC State will probably most likely beat UNC this year. So I'm not trying to be biased, even though I'll depend on who will win this game. Who knows? But this game will be on ABC, which is next week. It will be 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time at Memorial Stadium, which is in South Carolina, which is the Clemson Tigers Stadium, as you guys can see right here. The weather will be actually really, really nice as well. And, of course, the matchup predictor, they have Clemson with a 83.5% over NC State's 16.5%. DJ I can't pronounce. I'll just say DJ Uiagalelei. I still can't pronounce his last name. He's actually been playing decent. Both teams, though, they always start out really slow in the beginning of the game, but then they'll pretty much catch on and they'll start playing really well later on to the game. So if the defenses from both sides can catch off the offense backtrack in the first half, then maybe one of the teams will do well. So this will actually be a really, really good game because Wake Forest actually is pretty good too this year. So the Atlantic is actually really, really good. The Coastal is actually really, really bad, except for like Pitt. Miami's terrible. UNC is, I don't know how, their defense is awful. So they're honestly not that good, to be honest with you. So what I like to do is I like to read off the stats, like the season leaders, and I would like to read off the team stats on ESPN, and then I'll base my prediction off of the team stats, and then of course the players as well. So Devin Leary, of course, has done really well this year. Is a top tier draft pick, I guess, for this upcoming season or this coming NFL draft. Maybe, who knows? Had 80 completions, 125 attempts, 890 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. I know one thing, though, like NC State fans hate their offensive coordinator because apparently they always run to the left side, which is very odd for a team. All right, so I'm just going to say DJ Uiagalelei. I'm sorry, I just always butcher that last name. It's just so tough to pronounce. He had 83 completions, 129 attempts, so pretty much almost similar to Devin Leary's. 1,033 passing yards and 10 touchdowns and 1 interception. All right, so for rushing, we have Demi SK. I am not pronouncing that last name. I will destroy that last name. So I'm just going to say Demi SK because that's just a tough hyphenated last name. He has 39 carries, 252 rushing yards, and 3 touchdowns. We have Will Shipley for Clemson, who's actually played really well this year. 52 carries, 353 rushing yards, and 7 touchdowns. He's basically been their go-to guy this year. He's actually from Cary, which is kind of crazy because he could have gone NC State or UNC, but he chose Clemson instead. Thomas for NC State for receiving, 15 receptions, 217 yards, and 2 touchdowns, pretty good. Collins, 13 receptions, 218 yards, and 4 touchdowns, which is really, really good as well. All right, so for the team stats, we have points per game. We have NC State. We have 36 points per game. Clemson, we have 43.8 points allowed per game. This is pretty big for both teams. NC State's only allowed 11 points per game, while Clemson has allowed 21 points per game as well. Total yards, we have 411 points per game for NC State. We have 458.5 yards total on offense. Yards of passing, we have 253.5 for NC State. We have 275.0 for Clemson. Yards rushing, we have 157.5 towards NC State, while Clemson we have 183.5. Yards allowed on defense. This is going to be huge for both teams. Yards allowed is 261.5 compared to Clemson's 346.3. Yards passing is 179.8 to Clemson's 267.0. Yards allowed 81.8 to Clemson's 79.3. Oh boy, this is going to be an interesting game. As much as I hate NC State, and I know I like Clemson because of Trevor Lawrence and all them, I mean, I think NC State could potentially knock off Clemson. Even though it's at Clemson, I think NC State may win by a touchdown. As crazy as it is, as much as I dislike NC State, I think that NC State, with their defense and, of course, their offense, but if both teams start out slow, and I know Clemson has a really good defense as well, but if Clemson starts out slow and NC State just rolls, then I think NC State could potentially win. I could be totally wrong based off the stats right here, but I think that NC State might be a better team-wise than Clemson, but I know that Clemson potentially could win because it's at their stadium. So I'm still going to go with NC State. As much as I hate to say it, I'm going to go with NC State by a touchdown at Clemson, and that's just how I see it. And I think that Clemson, if they start out slow, and then it's going to be tough to build back because NC State is good this year. Yeah, they struggle against ECU, but they pretty much dominated Texas Tech, and Texas Tech beat Texas just recently, who Texas almost beat Alabama. So State might be actually good this year. So I'm going to bet State with a touchdown versus Clemson. And I hate to say it, but I think that State might actually be better than Clemson this year. Who knows? I could be totally wrong. But yeah, that's just my prediction. Comment below what you guys think about this game. And yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how DJ will play against a tougher opponent in the ACC. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said before, NC State by 7 points. That's just how I see it. I mean, I don't like NC State. I'm not really a huge fan of Clemson, but I do like Dabo Swinney. And also, it's just, yeah, I just think State might actually beat Clemson this year again. So who knows? That's just my opinion. That's just how I view it. And comment below what you guys think, like I said earlier. And yeah. All right, guys, full recaps here. Hope you all have a great day. See you guys later. Peace out.